he better be glad. He better thank his Lord and Savior every day that Sam Hubbard ran that ball 98 yards the other way for a touchdown.
Talking about the 2022 playoffs?
He better thank his Lord and Savior every day that Bengals defense stopped Patrick Mahomes in overtime when he had a chance to go win that game. He better be what they say, Hail Marys in the Catholic Church. He better be saying his Hail Marys or whatever the hell they do when he thinks about the fact that Ryan Tannehill gave his defense the ball not once, not twice, but 3 times and a pick 6 in that playoff game in his, the AFC wild card back then.
If you really want to dig deep, he's blessing in disguise that he got hurt year 1. If he does not get hurt year 1, he does not get Jamar Chase.
You're right.
If there's no Jamar Chase in the Bengals, are we looking at Joe Burrow in the top tier of the NFL quarterbacks?
If there's no Jamar Chase on the Bengals, Joe Burrow might be more Trevor Lawrence. And that's no slight to Trevor Lawrence, and just saying. We're going to see, watch what T-Law is this year now that he's got the 2 number 1s like Burrow has had for all of his prime. Most overrated quarterbacks right now in the NFL as we approach the 2025 season. We are 23 days out. Not only are we 23 days out, we are in the talking season, the optimistic season. Everybody's excited about what they might have in their quarterback room, including, for some odd reason, the Colts.
Number 5.
Anthony Richardson, I believe, is extremely overrated. And it's weird for me to say that when the Colts have proven to us with the amount of money they spent on Daniel Jones this offseason that they're not so sure about him. When the Colts also have shown us that the trepidation last year has borne out to actually be realistic. But I ask you this question, C-Cat. When has he ever actually been good at football? When is I know he looks extremely great in shorts. Hell of a deep ball he can throw. The dude is chiseled. He jumps higher than any quarterback has ever done in an NFL draft combine. He's probably got the biggest arm in the history of the league. I mean, maybe sans Jamarcus Russell, but when has he been good at football?
When is jumping required from a quarterback?
I don't know. Maybe when you're on the goal line, you want to jump over.
Okay, you know what? I didn't have an answer to that question. You gave it to me.
Yeah.
Right,
or if you're like Tim Tebow. Remember he invented the jump pass?
Was elevation necessary for that?
I think it was just like a little...
No, you're absolutely right with Anthony Richardson, where we both were kind of on the same board, where last season Anthony Richardson had a chance
that was his last
to prove everybody that he can reach the potential that he looked at when it came to the draft combine and how high he got drafted. And all of that went out the window after we saw who Anthony Richardson was last year, getting his job taken by Joe Flacco.
I don't understand what's left to be proven. I don't understand what we need to see. He was terrible in the preseason game. He obviously allowed that free blitzer to nail him and knock him out again. He's injury prone. I want Anthony Richardson to be good. And he's mostly, his value is inflated because he was drafted in the top 5 and because he plays for Shane Steichen, and we know what Shane Steichen did for Jalen Hurts. But I think we should all just be realistic with ourselves and ask ourselves, at the University of Florida, was he good? Absolutely not. In high school, was he good? Go run the numbers. They are actually miserable. I am not sure what it is about Anthony Richardson and his PR team that continues to keep bringing us back, but his PR team is doing a hell of a job. They need a raise. He is the 5th most overrated quarterback in the NFL right now, and he would be higher, except for the fact that he's in a quarterback battle with Daniel Jones. So I'm like, maybe he's properly rated. Maybe quarterback battle with Daniel Jones, and you're a top 5 pick. Ugh.
Number 4.
Number 4 is where I think I'm going to get some pushback from UC Cat and many of people. Aaron Rodgers. At this stage in Aaron Rodgers' career, and I understand he's a future Hall of Famer, he's first ballot, he's won a Super Bowl, even though that was a decade plus ago. At this stage in his career, why the hell do teams keep on banking their win-now futures on him? What is it that he's shown? I've seen the training camp clips, C-Cat. He can't move. He still can't move.
Yeah, it kind of looks like another quarterback who was in that uniform at the tail end of his career.
Yes.
Where Big Ben would make a mockery of the drills, mobility in the pocket, where he would just slap down the pads instead of evade them.
I'm concerned for Rodgers' health this season. Not to say that he's not healthy right now, but his inability to move is going to be a problem. And I remember seeing Myles Garrett talk to Shedeur Sanders on the sideline during their preseason game. There was a little, they were mic'd up, And Shador was joking with Myles Garrett, like, yo, I want to feel one of those swipes you be doing, man. I want to see what that's like. Like, hit me with one of those in practice. And Garrett's like, man, I don't want to hurt you, young buck. I don't want to hurt you. If Shador should be afraid of taking a swipe from Myles Garrett, then what the hell should Aaron Rodgers do?
Turn to dust.
I don't think I am legitimately concerned with his own health and safety because I do not think he will survive an NFL season. If he's really trying to drop back and play quarterback, he's not going to survive. He gets hit a few times by guys like me. He's got to play the Browns twice now. But then on top of that, I do think that his dink and dunk style and his inability or unwillingness to push the ball down the field because he's afraid to get hit is also why he's overrated right now. You want to know the last time he threw a touchdown pass in a playoff game?
When was that?
2021. He has not thrown a touchdown pass in a playoff game since 2021. He has not been good since that year as well. Remember his last year with the Packers, he let the Lions bounce him at home to keep him from the playoffs. With the Jets, he's either been injured or insufficient. Surrounded by a great cast, and now the Steelers think they're going to get something out of him. Aaron Rodgers is vastly overrated.
What's the worst quarterback you would take to just play this season over Aaron Rodgers?
I'd take Bo Nix. Like, I could go down the list, but I would take Bo Nix. I would take, and this ain't saying much, CJ Stroud. I would take Cam Ward is a better quarterback than him right now.
Would you take Bryce Young right now to win this year?
No. Number 3.
I appreciate your honesty.
Speaking of small quarterbacks, Kyler Murray's overrated, bruh. He's overpaid and he's overrated. And I have no disdain for this dude. I saw, again, this all comes off. I saw a terrible interception he threw in that preseason game that the Cardinals had. Marvin Harrison Jr. he was presented to us to be a once-in-a-generation prospect. His rookie season was a bit of a dull blur, but he still had 8 touchdowns. He was good. He had flashes here and there.
Man, those dynasty football leagues, it was Marvin Harrison all the way. You are set until you retire.
They thought he was manna from heaven, Marvin Harrison Jr. And I do think that Kyler Murray might be holding him back a bit. And I think the reason why Kyler is overrated, and I saw here in Sando's tiers list, they have Kyler Murray ranked as the 15th best quarterback in the league. They got him over Tua. Are we sure? And this is not I am not a Tua Tagovailoa guy. Are we sure that Kyler, like, what has Kyler shown you or done for you that makes you put him over Tua? Tua's been more productive. They both have had some health concerns. They're both small. It can't be a stylistic thing. Is it just the fun scramble plays he makes here and there?
Yeah, putting him over Geno Smith, I also think is egregious.
Over Geno Smith, over Tua, over Bo Nix. I just don't. I'm waiting for Kyler Murray to prove it to me. Outside of just being a fun fantasy football player, like you said, and outside of those fun, like I remember the play against the Raiders was tantalizing
the 2-point
as well.
conversion where the play lasts like 23 seconds.
And it's like, yeah, sure. But if I'm going to get that once a season, and I'm going to get errant throws, not being able to see over the middle, scampering around too much to where now you're causing unnecessary sacks.
Questions about his complete organizational buy-in. We remember the video game story.
Yeah.
We remember that it was contractually obligated to study film in his contract.
That's embarrassing. That's absolutely embarrassing.
And I do think the reason why Kyler Murray is rated higher than you truly think he should be is because of the contract he has and organizational buy-in from the Cardinals to him. They didn't draft a quarterback this year, did they?
No.
Even though they moved off of Josh Rosen as quickly as they did.
For Murray, by the way.
For Kyler Murray, there have not been questions of whether or not this is a make it or break it year for Kyler Murray as a Cardinal.
He should be more under the spotlight as a quarterback who should be on the quote-unquote hot seat.
And he also plays in Arizona.
So
like that's not, or no. I was saying like,
yeah, it is kind of.
Arizona Cardinals are not under scrutiny from a national viewing audience as much as a big market would be. If Kyler Murray was doing what he was doing in Pittsburgh, I feel like we would take more notice.
He needs to be under the gun. I need to see something from him this year. I'm almost all the way out. A quarterback that I believe I am out on, and this is going to give me some heat. Again, we're doing top 5 quarterbacks that are overrated. Top 5 overrated quarterbacks on a top 5 Tuesday.
Number 2.
Justin Herbert. He's the 7th ranked quarterback on Sando's list. Again, Sando from The Athletic, he gathers data from 50 coaches and executives in the NFL and says who are the best QBs. They have Justin Herbert as a tier 2 quarterback, the 7th best quarterback in the NFL. You want me to list off the other tier 2 guys? Sure. Why not? Right above him is Jaden Daniels. I think that is correct. Below him is Jared Goff. Oh, Goff, the dude who's been to a Super Bowl and a couple NFC championship games, that guy? Okay. CJ Stroud. Stroud, who went head-to-head against Herbert and outplayed him and beat him. And also, by the way, CJ Stroud, who has won 2 playoff games. Herbert is 0-2 in the postseason. Jalen Hurts is behind Justin Herbert. I mean, you can call Jalen Hurts overrated as much as you want to. The dude has finished second in the MVP race. He has made it to 2 Super Bowls, played extremely well in both of them, and won one of them. By the way, both Super Bowls against Patrick Mahomes. We give one guy a lot of credit for getting one win against Mahomes in the playoffs. Well, this guy got one, and it seems like we're still undermining his excellence. I don't know if I even like Justin Herbert over Baker Mayfield right now. If it's a big game, who do you want? Who do you want under center? Big game,
Baker.
Season on the line. I want Baker Mayfield.
Different list. Baker should be up that list for underrated, but yeah, Herbert at 7 is pretty tough.
It's really high.
The specs are there. It's like the better version of how Anthony Richardson believes to have all the potential in the world, but we're waiting to see it realized. And Herbert's been in the league for, is it going to year 5 now?
I think it's year 5 years. I don't know what year it is.
He was in the 2020 COVID draft.
Yeah, he was a Jordan Love, all of them. And I think, again, they have him over Jordan Love. I take Jordan Love over him as well. Justin Herbert has not proven it to me in games that matter. I've seen him get bounced in a regular season game that stopped him from making the playoffs, and twice in the postseason, he's lost to quarterbacks who are under him on this list. And I don't want to hear about the talent on his team versus the talent on their teams because he was playing with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler at one point.
But he's not the most overrated quarterback in the NFL, is he?
No. Top 5 overrated quarterbacks in the league.
Number 1.
Joe Burrow. Joseph A. Burrow. Yeah, and here's the thing. I keep on getting criticized as if I'm some kind of Bengals and Joe Burrow hater. I have nothing against these guys, but I have something against the people that continue to prop them up despite Joe Burrow not actually having the resume to prove it. Joe Burrow on Mike Sando's list is tied with Patrick Mahomes as the top quarterbacks in the league. They're saying that the NFL right now is 2 guys at the top, Mahomes and Burrow, tied, even. Those 2, same playing field.
Brady and Manning. Peyton, that is.
Yeah. Well. What happened when the other one got on the field with Brady? Different story. But no, Burrow and here's Burrow and Mahomes. Here's this one stat I want you to take home with you. Share this to your friends. Next time somebody tries to act as if Joe Burrow is in the same stratosphere as Patrick Mahomes. Burrow has made the playoffs as a starting quarterback, made the playoffs the same amount of times as Mahomes has missed the Super Bowl. I don't think that he has made the post, not won a game in it, not made a run. He has made the postseason twice. Patrick Mahomes has missed playing on the last date of the NFL calendar twice. He's done it with a bad defense. He's done it with an average defense. He's done it with an elite defense. He's done it with a number 1 wide receiver. He's done it with no wide receivers. He's done it on the road. Remember a couple years ago, at Baltimore, at Buffalo. What was the first one they went on the road to? I think that was at home against the
Texans?
Yeah, Texans. They were at home against the Texans. At Baltimore, at Buffalo, beating the Eagles in the Super Bowl. This is the Chiefs. For some odd reason, maybe it's because it's starting to get boring, and Mahomes himself as well. For some odd reason, they continue to get undermined. But the fact that Burrow was a unanimous tier 1 quarterback and tied with Patrick Mahomes on this list, despite missing the playoffs back-to-back year, despite playing with 2 number 1 receivers for the entirety of his prime so far, I can't for the life of me understand it. He's ranked above Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. That's criminal. I'm starting to think these coaches and executives in the NFL are fools. And there it is. That's my Top 5 Tuesday. Top 5 overrated quarterbacks in the NFL.
So, like, Joe Burrow is closer to Jeremy Lin than Kawhi Leonard. That's what I'm getting at right now. He had that one strike of lightning, beat Mahomes in a big spot, had that Linsanity run, but he is not a playoff killer like Kawhi Leonard was in his prime.
I saw Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl, and I saw him come up absolutely short. I saw him come up limp. I saw him not really perform. You know, I saw Jalen Hurts in 2 Super Bowls, and he looked unstoppable. The dude was absolutely and again, different supporting cast. But don't talk to me about how Jalen Hurts is propped up by his supporting cast when I got to look at a guy in Joe Burrow who can't get by unless both of his receivers are getting paid $35 or how much is $41 million for Jamar Chase, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah, and like the
30-something for T. Higgins.
And the receiver, like the Bengals not being completely healthy at the beginning of last season. Listen, it was T. Higgins. Their second wide receiver. He's a great player. Who's getting paid like a great player. But come on now. You should be able to beat the Patriots that way. And that was one example, but that's the reason they were in the playoffs last year. Bengals. And putting Burrow at the same level, it's interchangeable. Like, if you flipped a coin, you'd be happy with either one you got between Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow to start the season this year. That's what they're telling you right now.
That is what they're saying.
It doesn't matter.
Remember when Burrow went down and Jake Browning popped in and the Bengals did not miss a step? They didn't miss a step. Look, he better be glad. He better thank his Lord and Savior every day that Sam Hubbard ran that ball 98 yards the other way for a touchdown.
Talking about the 2022 playoffs?
He better thank his Lord and Savior every day that Bengals defense stopped Patrick Mahomes in overtime when he had a chance to go win that game. He better be what they say, Hail Marys in the Catholic Church. He better be saying his Hail Marys or whatever the hell they do when he thinks about the fact that Ryan Tannehill gave his defense the ball not once, not twice, but 3 times and a pick 6 in that playoff game in his, the AFC wild card back then.
If you really want to dig deep, he's blessing in disguise that he got hurt year 1. If he does not get hurt year 1, he does not get Jamar Chase.
You're right.
If there's no Jamar Chase in the Bengals, are we looking at Joe Burrow in the top tier of the NFL quarterbacks?
If there's no Jamar Chase on the Bengals, Joe Burrow might be more Trevor Lawrence. And that's no slight to Trevor Lawrence, and just saying. We're going to see, watch what T-Law is this year now that he's got the 2 number 1s like Burrow has had for all of his prime.